Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So today I want to talk about Meghan Markle and why is she such a bully, right? We all know she's a bully. All the stories are all over the place, but wondering what's going on here. And before I do, though, I want to refresh your memory that the Tom Bower book is still not available on Amazon in Canada. And here is the page. Today is August 4th, 2022. I record these the day before so that you see. I'll keep checking, but you know what? They are just, Meghan is keeping this book out of the Canadian. Meghan or her buddy there, Jessica Mulrooney, Trudeau. They are keeping this book out of the Canadian Amazon. This is censorship going on here, and she does not want you to know about it. She does not like people pointing this out. And again, not only is Tom Bower's book being censored from Amazon, the largest, probably bookseller right now in Canada. I mean, I know it's available maybe in some other smaller chains, but this is huge. But not only has Tom Bower's book, Meghan is so afraid of this book, the truth coming out, that she's so afraid of the truth, which I covered yesterday for my Patreon members, all about Meghan's lies and behind that, why she lies so much. But today I want to look at, her bullying. But before I do, just look at this book after book. Not only is Tom Bower's book censored and banned from Amazon Canada, silently so. And of course, you're not going to hear about this in the mainstream media. God forbid they actually report some news, right? They don't want to talk about the censorship, right? That's all they ever do. It's all Chinese Communist Party news. We're living in the Chinese Communist Party. You know that. The way they've been operating, everything they've been doing since COVID began, this is all Chinese Communist Party tactics. Everything from the school boards to the censorship to the president getting on telling American people, I'm losing patience with you. Get your vax, get it now, right? This totalitarian regime that we're under right now. Anyway, so here are the books. They actually published all these books to slander, defame Tom Bower. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 books, all crappily written, thrown together. Oh, 12. Yep. So they have other Tom Bower books, but they do not have Revenge. I've done a search here on Tom Bower Revenge. 12 crappily thrown together, crappy books. I even refreshed the search here just to make sure. Nope, still not there. So you search Tom Bower Revenge in Canada, and this is what you get. All these books attacking him, calling themselves a summary of his book, but it's really not. How could they have a summary? They're not even selling his book here. They have all these summaries for a book they won't even publish. This is how afraid Meghan and her friends, her evil accomplices in the New World Order, globalists, they're so afraid of the truth that Tom Bower's book has terrorized them so much that not enough to ban his book, they've actually gone and attacking him. They're so terrified of the truth, and this is why they have all the censorship, because they know, everybody knows the truth. They're dead men walking, right? They are. All right, so let's talk about Meghan's bullying. Body language guy, as usual, doing an awesome job. And he captured this. Now, he got the idea from Tom Bower's book, which is excellent, by the way. One of the things I'm noticing, I'm just starting reading it, but I'm noticing that Tom Bower catches every little lie. Basically, every story Meghan has told, there was something about it that wasn't right. Either the story is off, she's, every story Meghan tells is a lie, basically, because she twists things. Everything's not, she changed the details, this and that, and Tom Bower catches her on them. Every little story. So little to big, Meghan's a liar of all sizes. But what I find interesting is this idea of a grown woman who is so terrified, so angry, and vicious towards a little girl, a 3-year-old child. Now, I haven't gotten to that part of the book to see how heinous and reprehensible but I get the idea. Meghan is psycho and horrible towards this little child, this little innocent child. It just shows you, number one, not only this is a bully, but also how evil she is. Who can hate an innocent child? Only someone who's demonic and evil, quite frankly. I got a commercial to go through here. Well, anyways, before you go into that, so I started thinking, I'm like, how did Meghan become such a bully? How did that happen? What kind of, I mean, we all know she's psycho and that she's a narcissist or a psychopath or a dark triad, sadist. I mean, all these, things. I mean, look at her. We all know that she's mentally deranged. We got that. But the idea of an adult bullying a child like that, I mean, it's not just Meghan. This is not, I'm not going to say it's common, but I've heard of it before. And I don't think it's necessarily a symptom merely of being a narcissist. I don't think all narcissists, because I read a little bit about it, looked around, done some research, and when you look up the definition of narcissist or psychopath, they don't automatically say and they hate children and are abusive, because Meghan's not abusive to all children, right? She was nice to Jessica Mulroney's children. She's nice to other people's children. It was just Charlotte, and she was particularly evil and sadistic towards this little girl, right? So, and this was, of course, the girl who's going to be her, her sister-in-law's child, right? Some say it's because Meghan knew that one day she was going to have to curtsy to her. Maybe it's because Charlotte's a real princess. Ooh, burn, unlike Meghan. Well, anyways, what I did find out, what's going on when adults bully children. And I found it kind of interesting in that this is from bulliedbrain.com. It says a child raised by an abusive parent who bullies them then may opt to save themselves by mimicking the parent's lack of empathy or outright cruelty. So I said, what's going on when adults bully children? In most cases, adults come by bullying behaviors honestly because they were bullied in childhood. So they think it's normal conduct. They think it gets results, makes them tough. So I was thinking, how was Meghan treated? We know Meghan's father treated her like a princess, gave her everything. But what about Meghan's mother? Right? We're supposed to think that the stoic. Now, I found interesting in Tom Bower's book, and again, I'm just starting out, but right from the very beginning. Now, if you read Samantha Markle's book, you know how nasty and cruel and inhumane Doria was to Samantha, particularly after Samantha was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at a young age, which is traumatic enough. Meghan's mother, who was married to Samantha's father at the time, did nothing to help her, right? And Thomas Markle told Tom Bower that one of the reasons for the divorce was the way Doria treated Samantha. And Samantha and Thomas Markle agreed that Doria was, quote, neither gentle nor loving. She was neither gentle nor loving. So they're not going to come out and say she was a bitch, she was nasty, she was a bully, right? They're going to say, well, she was neither gentle nor loving. But that's what they mean. They mean she was a bitch, she was nasty, she was a bully. So obviously Doria is going to have treated Meghan like that. So it looks like Meghan is a product of Doria here in her bullying, in her nastiness in this particular case. And Doria is probably a narcissist too. I'll take a look at that. But what I'm getting here is that, what we don't know about Doria is a lot. And there is a video of Doria where she was getting, she keeps her cool, she keeps it together for the most part, but you can tell she's cold as ice. Right? You can see all pictures of her. She looks like she could be a total psychopath like her daughter. And she looks hard as a rock. She looks like a psychopath like Meghan. And it looks like, from what Samantha and Thomas and Samantha are saying, she was nasty. She was a bully. She was evil. So then look how Meghan's turned out. Look how Meghan treated a 3-year-old child. So let's see. Was Doria a bully? Was Doria a nasty bully to to Meghan. Rachel Meghan. Was she a nasty bully? Wombat spirit. Be at home. It looks like when Doria's at home, porcupine spirit. Time for the beginner mind. A prickly porcupine. Looks like Doria is quite the prickly person, and you don't really know her until you live with her. And when you do live with her, you find out what she's really about, and it's not nice. It's not. It's nasty. And there's quite a few stories that Samantha told in her book. Now, Samantha put things as gently as possible, but basically she was showing what a biatch, what a nasty piece of work Doria was. Because Samantha has to be careful because of the whole race baiting and everything else, and she's worried about being accused of just telling the truth. It's like, this is how bad it's gotten with this BLM communist nonsense that they're pushing with this racism BS. Is that, you know, a white person, Samantha, can't even tell the truth about what happened to her by this nasty woman who happens to be black, right? But Meghan's stories are coming out, and you know, Meghan didn't just come out of nowhere the way she is, right? Was Doria abusive towards, and you know it can be rough between sometimes mothers and daughters, let's face it. So is Doria, and Doria isn't, and you never see Doria being like, oh, hi, how are you, big hug, never. That woman is cold as ice in everything you see of her. She looks, I mean, she keeps it together, and you saw how cool and composed she was at the wedding. I mean, that's somebody who's very controlled and controlling, if you ask me. You know, I would have been like overwhelmed being in a royal wedding. I would have been like, oh my God, oh, it'd be like at Disneyland. You know what I mean? You'd be like looking around, like, wow, you know, but not Doria. Doria was stone cold, just sitting there. Are we done yet? So, how's Doria abusive towards Meghan? Let's get another card here. Is Doria abusive towards Meghan? How abusive was she? Deserving. I get that Doria felt Meghan deserved it. She was like toughening her up, just like they said here. If you're abused growing up, she gave it to Meghan. She felt she deserved it, and I think that back and forth. I think they're both. I think Doria and Meghan were too very much going back and forth, and that's why Meghan left Doria and lived with Thomas Markle for 10 years. I bet. I mean, I haven't gotten that far in the book yet. I don't know if it's covered exactly, but remember, Meghan was going back and forth, and then Meghan went full time with her dad. Great achievement. And Nanaki Pretty, who's known Meghan, and by the way, Nanaki Pretty, who's 41 years old and went to school with Meghan starting at a very young age in the same class, she pointed out how there was always great difficulties between Doria and her father, and Meghan was caught in the middle of it. So I get it back and forth here, and that Meghan, you know, dealt with a lot of problems there between them, because I'm getting that. Okay, so here I've got back and forth in between this deserving. Now, this deserving card is a woman who thinks she deserves it all. She's like Meghan, but this is Doria in this case. Doria felt like she deserves it all. Because what I found interesting is the more you hear about Doria's story with Thomas Markle, it sounds shockingly like Meghan's story with Harry. Here you have this unknown young woman. Well, Doria was much younger than Meghan when she met Thomas Markle. I think she was only 21, but still, she was like this lowly temp in a huge Hollywood studio. And Thomas Markle was a big shot, right? He was a top lighting director. He was an Emmy Award winning, all that. And Doria snagged him. So she went from having nothing to living in this luxurious house in a luxurious part of the town and living the high life, and then suddenly she had all this money to start her own companies and do this and that because Thomas Markle was flipping all the bills, right? So Doria married up big time, just like Meghan, right? And they both targeted white men. Let's just face it. I mean, they both married white men. And then, this like history repeating itself just on a larger scale with Meghan. And of course, Meghan's also with the New World Order and CIA and all that, I think. But, anyways, the point is there's a lot of similarities between their stories. And people have said how Meghan's mother influenced Meghan to, not give away the milk for free, right? Kind of deal. So Doria had this attitude of, I deserve everything, everything's just be given to me. And she put that on her daughter. She has the same personality. And for great achievement. Now, this sort of explains, this kind of looks like a wedding table. Meghan's greatest achievement was snagging men. Now, before Harry, of course, it was Trevor, another white guy. She never seriously dated any black men, right? She never married any either. So it was always an achievement, and she got that from Doria. Doria trained Meghan that you marry up, and then you'll achieve. That's a great achievement. That's what she learned from her mother, and her mother taught her all her tricks, basically, and said Meghan, lived by the rules. You remember that book, The Rules? And The Rules is a very old-fashioned book. I mean, it's supposed to work really well, but it's about basically, not giving, making the man pursue you. It's very old-fashioned. It's make the man pursue you. He pays for everything. He has to open the door and expect, and not giving away the milk for free. It's definitely the exact opposite of friends with benefits, as the exact opposite, which is also, I think, very damaging in my opinion. But anyways, I digress. But Doria's very, has been and is very, full of herself and thinks she deserves the best of everything like Meghan. She thinks she's a princess. So Doria thought she was a princess. And when Meghan was born, Meghan was treated like a princess. And so there you have it. So, a narcissistic parent can be very difficult. Usually, they can, pit the children against each other. But in Doria's case, she only had one child. But I think a narcissistic parent can be very competitive with a child too. If my understanding is correct on that. They can be and just be very harsh and like treat a child like as if it's a peer or something. Like treat them like adult, be very tough on them. Did Doria bully Meghan though? Because I find it interesting that Meghan lived with Thomas for 10 years away from Doria. Something was going on there. Look at that. But first we said, did Doria bully Meghan? Did she bully her, see her as competition or something here? Eight of Pentacles reversed. Well, I get that Doria was focused only on her work and her projects. And of course, smoking a lot of marijuana, as we all know. She just didn't want to put the effort into raising Meghan. I get Eight of Pentacles reversed is like she didn't take her role seriously as a mother. She wasn't nurturing. And like Thomas and Samantha said, she wasn't gentle or loving. She wasn't a natural mother. She wasn't someone who loved being around children and cared about them. I'm sure she was happy and proud of Meghan, but at the same time, she wasn't really into mothering. She wasn't really, she wasn't taking a lot of time and care. She's pursuing her own things. Eight of Swords, I get that Doria has her own mental issues. And also, I think that Doria kind of felt trapped uh, in a loveless marriage. I don't think she ever really loved Thomas. And I think that she just married him for the money and for the career opportunities. And when that was over, okay, lovers reversed. I think that she had a lot of problems with the relationships in general. I think that she was very harsh to deal with. And Five of Wands, very competitive and, um, yeah, I think that she did push Meghan. I think she felt like she was pushing her to be better, to be stronger, trying to teach her, the ways of the world, dealing with men, avoiding heartbreak and whatnot. But I get that she was rather harsh. I don't think that, I think she did things under the pretense of as being loving, but she was really very critical. She's probably critical of herself as well. But I think she was, because I'm asking about how she's treated Meghan as a mother. I do get the idea that she, you know, set a lot of boundaries here. Maybe it was very strict, maybe too strict that could be harsh sometimes. She didn't take any nonsense from her. Seven of Pentacles. I mean, she did keep an eye on her, and wanted her to be a good reflection of herself. I think Meghan was, as I say, the acorn doesn't fall far from the tree. I do think Meghan picked up a lot from her and her attitude and her dealing with men and relationships and her father. I think Meghan saw how Doria, could have seen how she dealt with Thomas, and that's how Meghan learned to deal with men as well. And parents are divorced. You see, uh, see the ugly side of a relationship, because I get the lovers reversed here. So Meghan grew up around being in the center of this divorced couple, right? And which is very difficult for any child, to be in that kind of position in between their parents, because they want to love both their parents. But Meghan saw love as war. She because that's what she grew up with. Her parents constantly separated, not getting along, living two different lives. And so Meghan saw that it sort of warped her idea of what love really is and loving relationships really are. And yeah, I think that Meghan grew up looking at from her mother and her father's relationship, not just her mother, but both of them. I mean, I've heard Thomas Markle is a narcissist too. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. But going back and forth between the two parents, I think that Meghan saw has a warped idea of relationships and how to handle them and ending them. Because we see how she dealt with Trevor. Trevor's parents didn't want him to marry her, I heard. But he did anyways, and of course Meghan just dumped him suddenly, like when she found someone better. So Meghan, again, kept climbing up the ladder through her relationships. And yeah. Meghan sees just love and war, all's fair in love and war, and she uses love as a means to an end, right? I mean, you can't tell me Meghan loves Harry, right? He's a tool. He's a way for her to get the riches that she wanted and the life and the fame that she wanted. And Doria instilled this in her, watching her parents fighting, her mother training her with the fighting and the separation, and the mother's manipulations, the mother's grievances. And so the mother did teach her some things, but the mother wasn't like, she didn't have a relationship like a mother. It was more like I feel like Doria treated Meghan more like a peer and training her, like, teaching her how to. She taught Meghan that you want to look upon a marriage or a potential marriage partner as a tree with money on it. Like, look for somebody with the money. Very practical minded. Forget about the love nonsense. Forget about the romance nonsense. That's for movies. In reality, you want someone with money. Is basically the vibe I'm getting it. So she gave Meghan that drive. She really encouraged that in her, and Meghan saw that in Doria because, again, Meghan's story is very similar to Doria's, right? Marrying somebody for their money, marrying somebody who's prominent, aiming for someone that's gonna pick you up in life and give you more money and fame and riches and opportunities. Growing up, how did Doria feel about her mother? How did she feel about her mother? How did she experience her mother? Was she a bully to her? Did she feel like her mother was a bully? Now, I heard Meghan was quite a bully. Nanaki Pretty pointed out that Meghan was quite the bully, even at a young age. If she disagreed with you, she would just stop talking to you. And this was like Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this is Doria from Meghan's perspective. So Meghan idolized her mother. She saw her as perfect. She saw her as having it all, as being calm and having it together and knowing always how to get what she needs. Oh, but then I get Five of Swords reverse. The Five of Swords is the bully card for sure. So I've got it reversed. I take that as an excess of, or you can see that as internalized. Okay, so I'm getting these two cards together. I'm asking how Meghan saw Doria. So Doria is cool as a cucumber on the outside, but inside she is a nasty bully. She's vicious. She can be vicious, a liar, deceiver, conniver. She'll take what she wants, no matter whatever extent it needs to be done. She'll do what needs to take. It's very, very evil, criminal, nasty thinking. But on the outside, you see Doria. She looks like a little saint. Like, she's quiet, calm, real matronly looking. But behind it all, talking like a real nasty manipulator, conniver, strategist, bully, doesn't give a crap about anyone, will just kill you and leave you on the field here. Because this is like someone who's like after a war, after a battle, people are killed and walk off. She's holding on and fighting to the end. So Doria is a fighter, and she can be very nasty and manipulative. So I'd say, but you would never notice that from the outside. She looks serene, calm, like everything's, oh, such a wonderful, calm, nice woman. But if you get to know her, nasty AF is what I'm getting. A nasty bully. This is the bully card for sure. Excessively so. So definitely a bully, but you wouldn't see it. Again, that's why I kind of get the idea of at home. You see it at home. The world doesn't see it. Some people have two different personalities. I mean, we all have like our outside personality from our inside, how we are, but some people are two different people entirely. You know what I mean? And Doria is one of them. Doria at home is the wombat porcupine there. So she's too, I think that she has her, and I think Meghan learned how to act that way too. So Meghan's the same way again, in that when Meghan's out and about, it's a smile, rictus grin, hi, oh yeah. But then when she's in private, like that photographer who miraculously captured that picture of her in the car when Meghan didn't realize that the photo lens could reach. You saw the real face of Meghan when she looked nasty AF going to that military ball, right? So how else does Meghan see her mother? Because Doria is very strategic and manipulative with swords here. So I think Meghan got a lot of ideas from Doria on how to handle and strategize the royal family and with Harry. How does Doria help Meghan with the royal family and with Harry? Because Doria is helping Meghan with that. Last thing Meghan wants is anyone around is going to tell the truth about her. That's why Meghan's never brought Harry around Knocky Pretty or Samantha Markle or Thomas Markle. I think this one want to flip over too. Okay. So how does Doria help Meghan with Harry? Ooh, the horned one. This is the devil card. The horned one, the evil one here. Yeah, the wolf in front. All right, so in this one, very evil looking card. I think devil may also be, excuse me, devil. Oh no, this is yeah. So I think that um I think I see this as, you could say the cabal, the evil, if they're involved with Satanism, which is possible. But in this particular one, I see that, I mean, Harry's pretty evil too, so he's not like he's some saint. The wolf in front kind of shows me somebody who's guarding the evil one, right? So Harry's like this, lump on a log that they want to keep. So Doria helps to keep an eye on him because Harry is crazy. And we got Page of Wands, like a child, and somebody who is difficult to control, with a lot of media around it. So of course Doria never says a word in the media. We know that. You don't dare talk to her. But Doria is very much there to help control Harry. He's treated like a little boy. Doria is a mother figure. Harry doesn't have a mother figure, so now Doria and Meghan are mother figures to him, just like Diana. So mothers from hell here, though, the devils. It's definitely satanic, evil influence here and controlling him and keeping him under control and babying him. Say, what's the matter, Harry? You need something? You want something to eat? I'll make you something to eat. This sort of mothering, but keeping control of him. Because Doria knows all about how to control men. She's very good at it. She's taught Meghan a lot about how to control men, how to bully, get what she wants, and how to keep other people under control. And yeah, so Hollywood's a very fake, shady, tricky place. You got to be really good at knowing people's motives, or you get ripped off, or something worse. So Doria has been around the block quite a bit. She's very savvy, in a very nasty way too, though. She knows how to get what she wants. She does it. She's very good at controlling Harry. Very good. And I got Knight of Wands reversed too. Again, an abusive type of card. So Doria again is very tough. She will lay down the law here, and she will not talk to the media. One time the media did approach her, and she was like, I'm going to call the police. So she's very much a bully, keeping an eye on Harry, controlling him, and also keeping people in line, keeping things in line in general. I think Doria may be involved with the online bullying and things like that. I think Doria helps Harry and Meghan now with attacking anyone that they don't like, and all that. But I do think that, yeah, Doria is a very abusive, bullying person, and that's why. Is that why Meghan? Is that what made Meghan? Is it Doria? Is Doria the reason that Meghan bullied a 3-year-old child, Charlotte? Uh, what was Meghan and Doria's influence? Oh, the Emperor. Mm-hmm. Emperor. Doria is very much anti-government, anti-leadership, sort of an anarchist kind of attitude. She doesn't trust the government. Who does nowadays? But still, but she's very anti-authority, anti-tradition, anti-anything. I guess Six of Swords. I don't think she's too keen on foreigners or the royal family, that's for sure. Um, she obviously didn't want to live there. She had the opportunity to move there to be near Harry and Meghan. They would have set her up with a nice place, but she's like, nah, I'll stay in California. So she has no interest in the royal family and all that. But I kind of get that. Um, yeah, Meghan learned everything she learned from Doria. Doria is like the emperor. She is more of an emperor than an empress as far as raising Meghan. And I think that Doria taught Meghan not to take any prisoners, and she didn't. And Doria is not someone who really cares about all this, foreign influence that Meghan's dealing with. And she does. I don't think she really cares for the royal family. A lot of people just don't care for the royal family. Don't care, don't want to know. And I think this outright attacking of the royal family and the government with Antifa BLM that Oprah's involved in, and Meghan and Harry, as we all know, because the defund the police is about abolishing the United States and abolishing the royal monarchy and abolishing all Western nations, right, for the one world government. So this is all one big evil planet. I think Doria is a part of that, is what I'm getting at. There is this anti, um, but Meghan, this anarchists, evil anarchists. A lot of these anarchists, like BLM and whatever, they're Satanists as well. They're very evil. So a lot of evil going on. Obviously, communism is evil as well. Karl Marx dedicated his book to Satan, right? I mean, it's all based on Satanism. Six of Pentacles. Again, go after the money, give me the money, and it doesn't have to be in a legal way. In fact, I think Doria prefers obtaining money illegally and under the radar. So there's a lot of criminal tendencies here that Doria has rubbed off on Meghan for sure. And of course with children. I mean, Doria was abusive. Now here you have a person who is being fair to her children here, or equally treating them equally. Okay, so all right, Doria doesn't like the royal family. All right, this is like a foreign card here. People across the family, royal family, who's like the emperor can be government and like the royalty. This is like the establishment, yeah, foreign establishment here, right? And Doria is about not, or this is reversed. So this is about not treating children equally, right? But being abusive to the royal children, to the royal daughter there. So that's an attitude that she's gleaned from Doria. Like, ugh, the spoiled royal children. Ugh, you're better than them. You put them in line. You let them know their place while they're young. Because you affect children while they're young. They're going, and you act all powerful, like you're more powerful than. It reminds me of the story that in circuses, when they want to keep an elephant under control, what they do is while the elephant's a baby, when it's little and doesn't have much strength, they put a chain around its foot that it can't escape from, right? So that the elephant learns, I can't escape from this chain. So then when the elephant grows up to be like 3, 5 tons or whatever, however much it weighs, a huge amount, all they have to do is put a little rope around its ankle, and the elephant thinks it can't get away because it was trained that way from childhood into believing that, oh, I can't escape the chain around my leg. So, I mean, it's that kind of idea I think Doria instilled in Meghan. Like, you make sure you tell those royal children, you scare them while they're young, so they think you're this all powerful person. They're afraid of you. And then as they get older, they'll always be afraid of you because they'll have this horrific memory of this terrifying woman they knew as a child. So that's what Meghan was doing. She was terrifying Meghan wanted Charlotte to be terrified of her because because we all know Meghan basically wants to kill the royal family, right? She wants to take it over. I mean, she wants to destroy it. So she wants the children of, William and Catherine to be afraid of her, so that in the future, Meghan comes back and says, "I'm taking over, you're gone." She wants them afraid of her. So that was part of it. And I think she did kind of get that idea, that notion from Doria, like that kind of being abusive to a child, because I think Doria was pretty abusive to her too, as far as treating, because Meghan was treated like she was the best thing that ever existed, right? In Meghan's world, she's the best, most beautiful, most talented, most intelligent being in the world. She really thinks she's a gift to the world, even though she's done nothing worth note. No skills, no talent, offered nothing. But she puts herself out there and pushes herself out there. And instead of being grateful for the royal family putting her in the spotlight and giving her the fame she's always wanted, instead she acts like, "Oh, I deserve better than this. I should be running the royal family," right? Yeah, so this is the kind of nonsense that she does get that from Doria. She gets that attitude from Doria. Doria has the same attitude because Doria raised Meghan to think, and it's a very evil-based, controlling, whether it's actually satanic, it probably is. I think I wouldn't doubt Doria is into Satanism and whatnot. But Doria is naturally a bully. Doria is a narcissist like her, but she conceals it much better. But she's doing the exact same thing. Meghan is doing the exact same thing Doria did, but on a larger scale. So yeah, Doria has trained her to be like this. Doria is the bully. Doria is the one that was bullying to Meghan as a child, toughened her up and taught her to, use relationships, not to actually be in a loving relationship, but to use men in relationships to get what you want and to keep those men in line. I think, all right, Meghan knows how to control men. That's what even Thomas Markle points this out. And I mean, this is obvious from watching what she's done and going through her relationships. Meghan knows how to control men, and she learned that from Doria. She learned from the best. Doria gave her all her tricks. That's for sure. Doria taught Meghan to climb that tree of money and get the man with the most money, and don't give anything away for free. That's for sure. So yeah, I think Doria is a bully. She's always been a bully. You wouldn't know it by looking at her, but she is a bully, bully, bully. And she's taught Meghan everything she knows, and Meghan thinks it's okay to behave the way she does because she's also criminal minded. I think Meghan's gotten her criminal tendencies. I mean, bullying, criminal, narcissism. I think Meghan's gotten that all from her mother for sure, Doria. So Doria is a nasty piece of work. She may be able to pose nicely and look serene and calm and ladylike, but in reality, she's a bully, narcissist, criminal, and taught Meghan everything she knows. And she's even helping Meghan right now with Harry, keeping him under control. All right, so that is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this. If so, please like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.